Hey, sales leaders, Weinberg. It's a gorgeous evening here in the Midwest. I've been locked in my office all day leading meetings, and this is the first fresh air I've had a chance to get. It's still colder than I'd like, but not so cold that I need to sit in the car. So I'm enjoying hearing the birds chirping, and I've got another message on positivity for you this evening. Thanks for the kind feedback from the first video in this series. And this one, I want to stay focused on you, your attitude, your heart condition. And then in subsequent episodes, I'm going to pivot and get really practical with you on leading sales team meetings in this crisis, and further coaching on doing accountability, and how do you deal with underperformers, especially at a time like this, or complacency. And I've had some real life examples with my clients that I can share with you, and I think those will be productive. But in this message, I've got 3 tips for you. I want to talk about filtering what your inputs are to help you stay positive. I want to remind us that when we take our eyes off ourselves, our energy and our attitude improve. And then I want to share with you a quote from Michael Hyatt, who I have a ton of respect for, in something he posted last week that was really helpful to me. And as I share it with my clients, they're really eating it up. So here are the 3 tips. And I'll tell you where I am right now as I'm out here on the patio. I'm deciding when I go back in, am I going to watch the news with Katie? This has kind of been our tradition. We watch the evening news and catch up on the day together after I've been locked in my home office all day. And this is a really challenging situation for me because I've had a great day. I'm real positive right now. And because I'm a news junkie, I've had to cut myself off for the last couple weeks from listening or watching or reading news during the business day because it's been totally unproductive. And if I turn on one of the all news channels like CNN, I immediately start to spiral. Between looking at the circus in Washington, D.C., or looking at the statistics from my hometown in New York, I just can't handle it. So I've stopped looking at it because it wasn't productive. I do notice, however, when I scan the Wall Street Journal or I click on a selective positive article from CNBC about some entrepreneur doing something creative, or a CEO doing an amazing job leading through the crisis, or reading about what some biotech or pharma company is doing to come up with a cure and a vaccine, that excites me. So while I'm debating right now whether I'm going to go ruin my day watching the news, the challenge I have for you is, are you monitoring your inputs? Are you filtering what you're ingesting so that you can maintain positivity? And when you find something positive, not only should you read it, but I'd encourage you to share it with your team. But avoid the doomsday hysteria, because that's unproductive. All right, tip number 2, take your eyes off yourself. Take your eyes off yourself. I am the master of throwing the pity party. As I said, I'm emotional. I can get moody. Let me tell you, if I start looking at my pile of canceled airline tickets right now, I think I have 11 trips that have been postponed or canceled. I feel like I probably need to hire an auditing firm to help me sort through which of these tickets are usable and where am I getting refunds and where do I need to apply credits. I mean, if I look at that, it's just discouraging. But when I take my eyes off myself and my own business right now, and I focus on helping clients sell and helping clients lead and creating new product that we're going to be selling here very shortly. And my friend Rob, who I love, who's like Mr. Patriot, Mr. America, he's sending me articles about things that Americans doing right now. One of the things was how people are buying meals for truck drivers. And I had the chance to do that. I won't get into the whole story, but last week at just the right time, I was filling up my car with gas, and a guy came in with the tanker to fill up the tanks, and I was able to buy him dinner, and it changed his whole demeanor. It cost me a whole $6. But the reality was it changed my heart, I think, more than it helped him. And I came home with just a different countenance because my eyes weren't on me, they were on serving someone else. So my question for you, sales leaders, executives, managers, who are you serving? And whether it's someone in your organization or on your team, or it's an elderly neighbor that could use you going to the store for them, or it's some other thing you can do. What can you do to take your eyes off yourself so you're not throwing a pity party? All right, my 3rd tip for remaining positive, and this is powerful. Stole this from Michael Hyatt, who is like my online virtual mentor, and I think he probably would love that description because for a while that was his tagline. He's a great guy and a leadership and productivity expert. And maybe a week or so ago, he put something on Instagram and said, stop whining about what you can't do right now during this lockdown and during this pandemic. And why don't you instead ask yourself this question: what's possible? In fact, in a positive light, if you'd ask yourself the question this way: what opportunities are now availed to you that wouldn't have been if we weren't in this crisis? What's now possible that wouldn't have been? And if you think like that, it changes absolutely everything. I've been asking that question to sales leaders and salespeople, and the answers I'm getting are phenomenal. At one client where I led a meeting just recently, the executives were talking about the opportunity that the managers were having to do more coaching and sit in observing more discovery meetings online with their people, because they weren't traveling, they weren't on planes, they weren't between cities. And there was one manager who, like in a day, observed 5 different meetings from 5 different salespeople, was able to not only contribute to those meetings, but then give feedback and coach and strategize with those salespeople afterwards. So 3 tips right there. Monitor what you're taking in so you can stay positive, avoid the hysteria. Number 2, take our eyes off ourselves and let's look to serve and help others. That changes our mood immediately. And number 3, from Michael Hyatt, ask what's possible now. All right, I wish you great sales leadership. Stay positive, right? Choose positivity and perseverance over pity parties and panic. The next time I come back to you, I'm going to get a little more practical and talk about some sales management best practices.